off a daily fantasy. His number too high, then I'm probably fading him. He been on the road, he gon' eat up my salary. I hit a buy, he gon' lie before lock. Play back to back, then I probably won't pick on the DFS bachelor. Good as it gets. Build a few liners and hit me a leg. He had a good game, but it might be a trick. Log in the Slack so I know who to pick. Sharing our liners, we all gon' get rich. New to this game, you should come to the pad. You might want some cash and get a good laugh. DFS sports, we gon' run up a bag. He heard every game and it's making me mad. You buying your lineups, I think you a cheater. DFS bachelor, he the new leader. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Bachelor Pad. I, of course, am your host of DFS Bachelor, and we are going to go over our Fantasy Draft Core 5 NBA picks for Wednesday, February 26th. As usual with Fantasy Draft, we do a quick Core 5 that we think has a good chance of succeeding. I apologize for this being a few minutes later than normal. I've been busy trying to get a small beaver, unstuck from my neighbor's truck. He was chewing through all the wires, somehow picked him up out in the woods. And that thing is freaking scary and did not want to leave, and I thought was going to kill the little dog. It has been an intense morning, so I did grab a beer. Cheers to you all. What an intense morning. So, first things first, thank you for all your support. I truly do appreciate all your support. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the team. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Get access to all of our content, all NBA slates, XFL, etc. Click that link and subscribe if you're so inclined to do so. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Be part of our weekly $25 PayPal giveaway. We announced that winner on Monday. And also, don't forget to subscribe with your Fantasy Draft user account. Every Friday, we announce a few winners into the NBA contest that day, so you can win some free entries, free money. One of our users, Chamberlain, won. Ask him about it. Won a free $25 entry, then turned it into $700 over the week. So a lot of value there. If you do not yet have a Fantasy Draft account, go to FantasyDraft.com. Absolutely free to create an account. Enter promo code DFS Bachelor, and then come back and just comment straight with your Fantasy Draft username. For those of you who are new, Fantasy Draft, rake-free DFS. All your entry fees go directly into the prize pool. It gives you an elevated chance at winning, and when you do win, it gives you an elevated chance to win more. It's just the numbers. It's just the math. So it's a lot of fun, and I will point out that the salary cap on Fantasy Draft is double that of DraftKings. So to kind of give you an idea of what you're paying, just divide it in half if you're used to the DraftKings thing. So you have a $100,000 salary cap, not a $50,000 salary cap. So that's why the prices may seem a little inflated. With that being said, let's get right into it. Right at the top, I think Luka Doncic is too cheap. He's $18,300 on Fantasy Draft. That's the equivalent of just over $9K on DraftKings, $9,150. We would pay $9,150 all day, every day for Luka Doncic. He's actually 10-3 on DraftKings. The Spurs, in terms of Fantasy Draft scoring, are 14th against opposing guards. Against opposing point guards, they are 24th. In his last two games against the Spurs, a 77 and a 51 in Fantasy Draft scoring. I like Luka Doncic an awful lot tonight. Next, in a paced-up matchup against an Atlanta team that in terms of Fantasy Draft scoring gives up the most fantasy points to opposing guards, I like Markelle Fultz. He's 11,400, so you're getting him for about 57 on DraftKings. That's pretty close to his price. He's got a 59. Again, against guards, they allow the most Fantasy Draft points to opposing guards. In terms of point guard defense, Atlanta is 23rd in the league against opposing point guards. I like Markelle Fultz. Put up a 33 his last time out against Atlanta. Next, another guard in a great matchup against a Brooklyn team that's 25th against opposing guards in Fantasy Draft scoring. They're 25th against opposing point guards overall. I think Ish Smith is a great play. He or Shabazz Napier could be a nice pivot as well. You're getting him for $9,800 on Fantasy Draft. That's $4,900 on DraftKings. He's priced at $5K on DraftKings. Only a 23 his last time against Brooklyn, but it is a good matchup. Poor defense at home. I think Ish Smith could be an interesting play that you're getting some savings on. Next, another value guy that is just too cheap and is going to see a ton of minutes with Jaren Jackson out, with Brandon Clark out, and a matchup against a Houston team that's allowing the second most fantasy points to forwards/centers in terms of Fantasy Draft scoring. They're also allowing the third most fantasy points in the league to opposing small forwards. Josh Jackson, $8,800 on Fantasy Draft, so very, very cheap. $4,400 on DraftKings. He's $45 today, so you're getting him at a nice price. His last three games against Houston, two of those games he put up a 35. Due to the injuries in the front court there, Josh Jackson should see plenty of minutes. I think he's a good value play on all slates. I like Josh Jackson quite a bit. And for another pay up at center, I'm going back to the well. I'm going back to Joel Embiid. He's 19-1 on Fantasy Draft, so you're getting him for about $9,500. I think that's too cheap. Today on DraftKings, he's 10,500. Cleveland is 16th against centers, forward/centers. But more importantly, Cleveland now has Andre Drummond. Joel Embiid loves to punk Andre Drummond. He plays some of his best games against Drummond. I think he's in a good spot. 2 of his last 3 games overall, he scored in the 70s. Joel Embiid's red hot with no Ben Simmons. I think he's in a great spot tonight. So if you go with that core 5 of Luka Doncic, Markelle Fultz, Ish Smith, Josh Jackson, Joel Embiid, that still leaves you 10,866 per player. Plenty of salary to finish off your roster. Don't forget to comment with your Fantasy Draft username. Be part of that drawing on Friday. Go to FantasyDraft.com. Enter promo code DFS Bachelor to qualify for that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you all so much. May the fantasy gods be with you. Be sure to check out all of our videos. Our other NBA video for the other sites is up as well. Again, I appreciate you all so much. Cheers to you all, and we will see you tomorrow for our NBA slate. And here in the next couple days, I will also have XFL Week 4 content out as well. Thank you all again so much. Goodbye, folks.